the description box below, so check it out. And then you use your pattern to cut out pieces, the outer and the inner. So what I'm gonna do is sew it all around like that.
Okay guys, so right here I will be sewing all around the perimeter of this flap using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, but whatever works for you, it's fine. And I like to go slow when I get to the curves, so that I can get an even nicely curved finish.
Curves, you want to nip around the curve so that it gives some fabric allowance and it makes for a cleaner edge and all around nicer finish. Poke out the edges as much as you can. It's nice and clean. Everything is clean. And then go ahead and give this a nice press. And then put it away. So after you've ironed your flap and you have it nice and pressed like that, you'll put it away for now. So later. Then what you're gonna do is start working on your pockets. So what I'm going to do is place the lining and the outer of right side facing.
So after attaching the lining to the outer piece, trim whatever of the lining is showing out, and then you are going to use this technique to make your pocket puffer up. What you'll do is create a triangle of create the triangle with your square piece of the pocket, and then maybe measure about 3 centimeters from that corner and sew a straight line like I'm showing you right now. As you can see, you want to sew along your maybe 3 centimeter mark, 3 or 5, depending on how big or small you made your pocket. So that's what I'm explaining here.
So after you're done with your pockets, make sure you cut your pieces out. Then place them on your front panel or your front piece. And then this is another challenging part. Try to met them out by marking where they are. Pin your pocket because it will shift and you don't want that. Pin it in place. Also, remember, since you have a raw edge, you want to fold it inside and then pin. Those triangles we created make a nice pocket that looks like this. So the pocket will look a lot something like this. Then you now have to make flaps for the pockets. These are my pocket flaps, and it's 8 centimeters by 16 centimeters. And I make them the same way I made my pockets. I place right side spacing.
So right now I'm placing my pocket flaps, and what I want to do is I'll place the pocket flaps as close as possible to the pocket. I'll sew a straight stitch, flip it over and top stitch so that the pocket flap stays in place. Now what you can do at this step is sew your velcro to your pocket flap and your pocket before making the step, or you can glue it down if you want. When you're done, you can glue down your velcro. So for the strap, you can make it however long you feel comfortable, but a meter, 100 centimeters or less. And for the width, I made it 6 inches or so. So as you can see, I just fold it and then turn it. I fold it, so a straight stitch along the seam and turn it inside out using lemma. Then I top stitch both sides of the strap.
We have our straps about 30 inches or so, or more or less. Two straps and a handle, and then these two adjusters. I call them strap adjusters. I don't know what else to call them. So, kind of diggity, petlos. Lewis says he petlos. So what you're gonna do is have about 10 centimeters of your strap and sew it along the sides. Sew it 2.5 inches from the bottom, both of them, and then find the center of your back piece and start placing your pieces, because we're building a bag here. So remember to mark your top, to mark 2.5 inches from the bottom. Then place the petals. Okay, so find, after attaching your adjusters, find the middle area of your back panel and then mark it. And then place, you can even notch it. Then start placing the handle, the flap, and your straps. Alright, so on your flap also, we almost forgot to put a magnetic snap in. So on your flap, find the middle as well. Then about 5 or 6 centimeters from the bottom, make your mark. That's where you will place the magnetic snap, the male part. Because this has a male part and a female part. Wow.
So first I'll place my handle, the top handle, then I'll place my straps. I'll center my handle, then place the straps on either sides of the handle. Then on top of that, I'll place the flap. Like I said, we're building a bag, right? So make sure that if you need to trim your flap, go ahead and do so that it's not too long. Otherwise the bag end up having a loopy kind of shape, and I'm not here for it. And then as you can see, I'm just sewing all of that together, and just one stitch you'll be fine, because at this point you're kind of basting to see how everything will turn out, right? And then when you're satisfied with the position of your flap, what you want to do at this point is take your front panel of your bag, that part with pockets, place it on top of the back part, which is the part we just got finished with, and then sew a straight stitch along the edges of your bag, both sides. Then when you're done, we will move on to the bottom of the bag. And you remember we made notches at the center of the bag. Those notches will help us at this point where we will need to match up the side notches of the bottom piece to the seam, to the side seams, and the center notches to the center notches of both panels. I know I'm making sense, ain't it? Okay, you're almost done, but you still have lining. You still have lining to go with. So you can place your outer shell away for now. Let's get started on the lining. So the same thing you did with the outer shell, place the right sides of your lining facing together and sew the sides, and then sew the bottom piece. You want to leave a space here, some space here, so that you can turn the whole bag inside out onto the bag. Now, once you're done with your lining, remember to leave the space where you pull everything from the outside. You can put it aside and put it aside and work on your drawstring casing. Thank you if you said bless you, because I sneezed in the last clip. So for the drawstring casing, you want your length, the length of the drawstring casing should match the length of your bag, because what you want to do is you're going to loop it around the top part of your bag. But before you do, you want to take it to your ironing board and press it so that it maintains shape. Place it and then come back and place it on top of your bag like I did. Then you can either, if you're not satisfied with how it's looking, baste it first so that you can unravel it quicker, just like I'm doing. But if you're fine with it, don't even worry, because you are still going to sew over this when you place your lining fabric. So when you're done, find the middle of your drawstring casing, which is essentially the middle of your bag, and punch holes. I keep making this mistake of putting my bottom piece at the top. Don't do that. Be very aware that you don't make the same mistake that I'm making. So now I have to unravel this and place it where it's supposed to be, which is, it's the bottom, right? Should look something like this. Now take your lining, flip your casing open like that. Oh, before you forget,
remember the other part of the magnetic snap.
So a little trick for knowing how to place this other part of the magnetic snap of the magnetic snap is that I rub a little chalk all over the male part of it, and then use that to give me a guide. I stamp it on the fabric and it gives me a guide of where to place the other part. Then I place the backing and I'm done. So at this point you want to insert the right sides of your bag, which is the outer part, facing the right sides of your lining, and always make sure that you leave that space at the bottom so that you will pull out your bag. And then, like I said, if you had basted the drawstring casing, don't worry, because you'll yet loop the lining piece around the same area. So this is that part. And make sure that the back part is at the back, and the back part is where you placed your pocket if you have it. Then at this point just close it up using the smallest seam allowance you can have, or you can even do this part by hand, and you're done with the bag.
So guys, to finish up our bag, we are going to use this strip of fabric, 92 centimeters by 3 centimeters, 3 to 4 centimeters. And what you're going to do is just fold it on itself, fold it, you fold it, and then fold it again. So this is what's going to be our strip. Our drawstring.
This is the finished product, you guys. I really love how it turned out, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and I hope you'll tag me if you ever try it. I try to be as detailed as I can with this one, so please cheer me on with a little thumbs up and a little subscribe, you know. And while you're at it, turn your notifications on so that you can know when I post, however irregular I am. But yeah, thank you so much for spending so much time with me. See you on the next one. Hot.